Um, we're going to take a look at Revelation chapter. Now, notice, friends, now, some of you have another question. Why? Let's take our focus off of what's happening on the earth for a moment, and let's take a look and see what's happening in heaven. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for how long? 1,000 years. Verse 5 says, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So those on what we read about in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16, those are the ones that are going, and in First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16, those are the ones that are in heaven. Jesus has taken them to heaven with him. But what are they doing? His judgment is giving unto them. Now, here's a question. Am I going to be telling Jesus, hey, Jesus, you got that one wrong. That one needs to come to heaven. Or, hey, Jesus, hold on a second. I think you got that person wrong. Or you know what? I think that demon right there, they changed their life, so they should come to heaven. Is that what the judgment is all about? No, friends. The judgment is not about that. The judgment is about looking at the records, because Jesus is being fully transparent, looking at the records, and he's being transparent, saying, hey, you want to know why XYZ person is not here? There's an open book. We're going to be able to look and see each and every person that didn't make it to heaven and why they did not make it. It says, blessed and holy is he that hath part, verse 6, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. During that reign, what's taking place? During that reign, what's taking place? Let's take a look at the saints judge the wicked. I don't want to put saints judge the wicked. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2 and 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 2 and 3. Dr. Garrett, if you can go and read that for us.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? You know what? Audience and Brother Paul, as well as myself, right? God is a God of truth, and when truth is presented to you, there's no room for lies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's indicative of the smallest matters that we experience today. We rationalize. There comes a point of time when we have to see truth for what truth really is. The word of God is so powerful, yet it is a struggle that many of us face with accepting it with wholeheartedness.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the battle we face. We have to work out our own salvation, Brother Paul. But the truth of the matter, we spend so much time worrying about others working out their own salvation as opposed to worrying about what's on our own plate.
Yeah. Notice, friends, that the focus, like Dr. Garrett shared, the focus has to be on others. Now, mind you, the focus has to be on yourself as far as your own salvation. Now, I have a screen pulled up here real quick. I want you guys to take a quick look at it. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then we're going to move on. What follows the destruction of all the disobedient at the end of the 1,000 years? And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. That's Revelation 20, verse 9 and 14. And I saw a new heaven, Revelation 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Revelation 20, verse 1. And of course, 2 through 5, we'll see that in a moment. We're going to look at a summary. We've been looking at this in its entirety. The 1,000 years at a glance, before, during, and after. The before, during, and after. Dr. Garrett, if you can go ahead and read that for us.
Sure. To resurrection, the righteous to life and wicked to damnation. John chapter 5, verse 28 to 29. At Christ's coming, the righteous rise and with the living saints are caught up to heaven. 1 Thessalonians 4, 16 and 17, and John 14, 3. The millennium begins, the living wicked are slain, and Satan is bound on a desolate earth. Revelation 20, verses 1 to 3.
Notice, friends, we're giving you a breakdown of everything that's happening. First thing we're mentioning is there's two resurrections. Resurrection to life, the righteous to life, and the wicked to damnation. Go ahead, Doc.
For 1,000 years, the earth lies empty while the saints reign and judge in heaven. Revelation 20, verses 4 and 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2 and 3. Jeremiah chapter 4, verses 23 to 27. At its end, the wicked rise, Satan is loosed, and the new Jerusalem descends. Revelation 20, verse 5 and 7, 20 and verse 21, verse 2.
Okay, before we I'm gonna put that last one on the screen right now. And go ahead.
Fire destroys the wicked in the second death, and a new heaven and new earth. A new heaven and new earth. Revelation chapter 20, verse 9 to 14, and 21. Chapter 21, verses 1 to 5.
Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of Revelation, because so far, friends, we've looked at Revelation chapter 20 in its entirety. We've looked all the way up to verse 9. Dr. Garrett, if you can go ahead and read verse 9 through 14, friends. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put the summary screen back on the screen for you. And if you are watching, I want you to let me put that back on the screen for you for just a moment. I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and screenshot this. This in a nutshell, there's more, but this in a nutshell summarizes the 1,000 years at a glance, before, during, and after. So go ahead and it's on the screen for you right now. I'll put it on the screen by itself so that you have that opportunity. Let's see. Was that going to work for you guys? I think that I'll put it this way. All right. Go ahead and screenshot this for yourselves, friends. The two resurrections. At Christ's coming, the righteous rise, and with the living saints, and they're caught up in heaven. The millennium begins. For 1,000 years, the earth lies empty, and the saints are in heaven while the earth lies empty. At its end, the wicked rise. Satan is loosed. Then the New Jerusalem descends. Fire destroys the wicked in the second death. Then a new heaven and new earth. By the way, I think this one is a typo here where it says the New Jerusalem descends. I would put that down here at Revelation 21, verse 1 through 5. So forgive me for that. But also Revelation 21, verse 2 is mentioned here. I almost doubled up on the screens. It's okay. I think you'll get it when you read it. Okay. All right, friends, we're going to pull that down for a moment and put our Bible text back up. We're going to look at the rest of Revelation 20, verse 9, 10, 11, all the way up to 14. Go ahead, Doc.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, And the beloved city and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the
All right,
devil
stop.
that
I pause. Let me stop you for a moment there. So that's kind of like
Mhm.
that's like a summary. That's a summary of what we see that's going to happen. Now we're going to see some detail. Go ahead, doctor. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
And the devil that deceiveth them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which are written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. Verse
Mm.
14. And death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
You can go to read verse 15 too. You might as well.
And whosoever was not found in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Hmm. Yes, friends. There is one more Bible text I want you to read. It is my absolute favorite. Dr. Gary, give me some thoughts about what you just read. We talked a little bit about, I lamented a little bit about my sadness. We also see that Jesus is going to wipe away our tears by showing us the opportunities that people had to choose him. But why don't you give me your thoughts on what you just read in Revelation 20,
Well,
verse 9 through 15?
well, Revelation chapter 29 to 15 is the revelation of the manifestation of God's final act against sin. Remember, when Eve was deceived, Satan told her that man shall surely not die, right? God had allowed the sin problem to manifest itself so not only we, but the angels who did not fall can see the true understanding of sin as well as the unfallen worlds. Now we see that there's no further opportunity for change behaviors. Probation's ended, and God is passing his judgment against Satan and all those who made a conscious choice to live in deception. What's fascinating about this plan of salvation we're discussing, everyone will have an opportunity of learning about truth, which Paul talks about in Romans chapter 1. Even the invisible manifestation of who God is made known to everyone and every living being on this earth. We have to choose if we want to follow truth or if we want to follow a lie. We have a choice of going left or we have a choice of going right. We can choose to worship on the Sabbath or we can choose to worship on any other day. We can choose to accept the plan of salvation through Jesus or we can accept from any other person. At the end of the day, we either going to be caught up or we will not be caught up. The choice is yours and mine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, friends, we're gonna look at Revelation chapter 21, verse 1 through 5. We'll close out with that.